Hello there, and welcome to the Wandering Wolf YouTube channel. I'm your host, Mark Rhodes. Alongside me, as always, is my friend and fellow Wolves lifer, Mr. Craig Forward. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, bud. I'm very well. On this fine evening.
Very
Always
excited.
good to see you, bud.
Oh, you too, buddy. You too. And it's also good to see. I'm so excited about this one. I'm not going to lie. We've got a Bibb here who does a lot of stuff for Talking Wolves, don't you, mate?
Just one or two things,
I know.
Talking always very positive about the team.
That's why I'm looking forward to it. So what we're going to do, Bibb, it's lovely to have you on the channel, mate. And what we'll do a quiz. Apparently it's a Premier League quiz. And then afterwards we'll have a chat about how you think the season's going and all that stuff, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's sound. That's brilliant for me.
I'm loving the flags in the background, by the way.
I was about to say we've got one there basically on this one. So normally use it for the England games that I haven't been to. It's got Norfolk Wolf on it, so
Oh, nice.
Kind of. And then there's another one there, just to kind of represent that, that.
You got it.
Yeah, I might like Wolves,
Hey, you never know. Hey, there's always time. There's always time, mate. All right then.
Well, we'll discuss that a bit later.
Indeed. It's going to get feisty, I know it. But first, we'll do the quiz. Mr. Forward, over to you, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's quiz. Are you going first or second, mate? It doesn't matter which one you want to choose.
What would you like to do?
Oh, well, we'll go first.
It's going to go first. Right.
All right. Different to Scott from Sweet and Sour Soccer. He went second to see where the lay of the land was, but you're going straight in. I like it.
He's just going, straight in there. So
Why not?
We'll kick straight off for this football theme quiz. Did you see what I did there?
I like it. Oh dear.
Plenty more of that to come.
Complete. I hope not.
Moving swiftly on. Question 1, mate. Which player has scored the most Premier League own goals? Is it Richard Dunn, Lee Dixon, or Titus Bramble?
What a three.
Dream team.
Tell you what, wow. I mean, I didn't expect it to go down that route. My first thought before all of them that was said was Richard Dunn. I mean, when you play for that many clubs and you're a bit mediocre, I mean, it's not surprising you get that many own goals.
Fair comment.
To be fair, Bramble got a fair few, but I think it's Richard Dunn. I'll go with that.
All right, you'd be right, mate. Off to a good start. There's one in the bag.
I would have gone Titus Bramble, mate. So I'm glad I didn't go first. I would have gone because, whenever I hear Titus Bramble's he scored so many own goals. He's so bad. But yeah,
good
okay.
Name.
Well
Great
done, mate. Well
there.
done. 1 out of 1. Oh God, here we go.
Mark, over to you.
Oh God.
Manchester United have won the Premier League 13 times, more than any other side. But which club have the second most titles with 5? Is it Liverpool, Arsenal, or Chelsea?
Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. Well, Liverpool, if we're talking Premier League, Liverpool have only won it once. Arsenal, probably, they've not won it 5. I'm thinking about the Roman Abramovich era, which was just crazy good for them. It's not Arsenal, it's not Liverpool. I'm going Chelsea, I think.
Chelsea, you'd be right, mate. You'd be right. Off the mark.
What would you have gone for, Bibb, there?
I would have gone Arsenal.
Yeah,
I would have. I was thinking more back to the early time when, Wenger first took over.
Yeah, the Invincibles No, I hear you. I'm gonna have to put the light on. I'm basically, I've got the shiniest face in the world. I look like I've been. I feel like I'm on the sunbed.
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming.
Yeah. Right, you back? That's it, mate.
I'm back. I don't know whether it's really shiny for it. Oh, really brilliant.
Right, big question 2, mate, for you. Here
we go.
Which club has conceded the most goals in Premier League history? Is it Everton, West Ham, or Newcastle?
Oh my goodness!
That's a shocker. That is.
That's
so unnecessarily. Oh.
It's getting harder to come up with these questions.
They're becoming a lot harder. They're becoming a lot harder.
Wow. So was it Everton, West Ham, and Newcastle?
Yes.
In the Premier
Wow.
League?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, logically, you'd think probably Everton because they've been there the longest, but I think it's one of them trick ones, you know. West Ham have always been, you know, well, down there. And it's either Newcastle, West Ham for me.
This is so hard.
I'd say West Ham. I'll go West Ham.
West Ham. It's not, mate. It's Everton.
Oh,
of course.
That was your first thought. That was your first thought.
That was tough.
Because West Ham always been in the Premier League. That's the thing. Like, have they? I can't even remember.
I think they went down like, I think it was 2011 maybe.
Yeah, you probably you're right there, aren't you?
Yeah.
God, that was hard, Craig. Come on.
Well, they're easy if you know the answer. That's what I'll say.
Wow. Chris Tarrant over here. Chris Tarrant. Go on, lad.
Question 2 for you. I do feel that Bibbs may be slightly more difficult because he went first, but never mind. Right. Question 2. Okay. The top transfer fee received by a Premier League club was £106 million, but who was the player?
I don't.
Was it Ronaldo, Thierry Henry, or Philippe Coutinho?
But received?
Yeah.
Received?
Yeah.
I suppose it's got to be the most recent, hasn't it? It can't be Thierry Henry or Ronaldo because it's Coutinho then, isn't it? Is it not?
Coutinho? Are you sure? Is that your answer?
Well, yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, you'd be right.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
You know what, Bibb? The only reason I went for Coutinho is because it's the most recent.
Yeah.
And there's no
logic.
way on earth I'd spend 100 million on anyone in like when Ronaldo was at his peak. There's just no way. So that was the only reason I went for that. And what a terrible transfer that is. 106 million for him.
What a stinker.
Wow. Almost as bad as 35 for Silver, eh? Oh.
Almost as bad as Eden Hazard. Right, Bibb,
okay.
Question 3, mate. Only one African player has been named Player of the Season in the Premier League's history. Can you name him?
Don't even need 3 here.
Do you want the 3?
Oh, yeah,
no, it's not my question. It's his.
Is it?
I was about to say, it's already my game from Mark. There we go.
Is it Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, or Drogba?
Oh, do you know what? My first thought was Michael Essien, and he's not turned up there. So either way, I'm stuffed. Well,
not necessarily.
Got to be Mo Salah, surely.
You go Mo Salah?
I'll go Mo Salah.
I would have gone Drogba.
You're both wrong. It's Sadio Mane.
Oh, well, thank God it's not my question. I thought Drogba before the answers came up. I thought it was surely.
Yeah. Mane.
Surely.
Yeah.
Mane,
Recently,
really?
Yeah, it's like 3 years ago, I think.
God, we're having a stinker here, Bibb.
Oh, my God.
Right, Mark.
Okay, I need to get this.
Question 3 for you, bud. This is more your era, shall I say?
What's that supposed to mean?
Which Tottenham player finished top scorer in the league's first ever season, the first Premier League season? Was it Teddy Sheringham, Ronnie Rosenthal, or Darren Anderson?
Oh my God. What a 3 as well. So the first Premier League season, I am showing my age now, was 92, 93, I think.
Correct.
And it's got to... There's no way on earth Darren Anderson is the top scorer of a Premier League season. And whenever I've watched Ronnie Rosenthal play, he's always been dog awful. So I've got to go for Teddy Sheringham, I think.
You'll be right, mate.
I was going to say, God, surely. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Well done. Right, Bibb, question 4 for you, bud.
Here we go.
Who was the first Frenchman to score in the Premier League? Was it Emmanuel Petit, Eric Cantona, or David Ginola?
Oh, first thought was Cantona. He was there. He was there first season. It's Cantona. It's got to be Cantona.
I would have
It's
gone Cantona. Yeah,
It's Cantona.
yeah, good one.
It's Cantona.
Yeah, he played about 10 years before anyone else.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
That was more slightly easier one, but it's isn't it?
No, fair play. Hey. The questions have been fine. The questions have been fine. I've got them
Do
all
not
right.
question the quiz
That's
master.
fine.
You know what happens.
I know you take points off. I don't like Bibb. He takes points off me. So let's.
And I will.
You know.
We'll
know
go
you
there
will.
again.
I know you will. It's so hard.
Question 4, Mark. Coming at you.
Thank you.
Which team has lost the most games in Premier League history? Is it Southampton, Fulham, or West Ham?
We've in Premier League history, Fulham have been. They have not been in the Premier League enough to lose that many games. If I'm working on that kind of logic, Southampton and West Ham have been in there pretty much all the time, which is annoying. I think I've got to go West Ham. I think that. Would you have gone West Ham, Bibb?
I'd probably go West Ham, to be honest.
Yeah. That's good logic. It's West Ham.
Oh, is it good? Okay.
Yeah, well done,
cool.
mate.
What's going on?
Well, that's
Mark,
almost.
what's going on? You're usually worse than this, mate.
I'm a lot worse than this. I'll tell you what, I am
spotting up. Bibb.
I am encyclopedia. It's just up here Googling everything.
Right, Bibb. Last one for you, mate.
Come on, Bibb.
Who tore off his shirt to display a vest saying the phrase 179 just done it after only 178? Was it Ian Wright, Mario Balotelli, or David Beckham?
Ian Wright. Comfortably Ian Wright.
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
Nice one. Nice one.
Where that's come from, I can't lie.
No, fair play, man. That was good. Good effort.
Good times, Bibb. Good times. Right,
Okay.
Rhodesy, last one for you, bud.
Okay.
Which striker has played for the most Premier League clubs? Is it what are you shaking your head? Is it Marcus
because
Bent?
it's a ridiculous question.
Is it Marcus Bent, Jermaine Defoe, or Peter Crouch?
Oh, they've all played for a substantial amount of teams in the top flight. So Crouchy, Defoe, and who? Sorry, mate.
Marcus Bent.
Marcus Bent. I don't think it's Marcus Bent. Jermaine Defoe. Crouchy's played for a few, though, hasn't he? Stoke, Liverpool. He played for Portsmouth in the Premier League as well. Defoe has played. It's Defoe or Crouch for me. I'm going to go with. I'll go with Defoe.
Going with Defoe?
Yeah.
It's not, mate. It's not. It's Marcus Bent.
Could have answered that question a lot quicker with the same outcome.
Today's winner, Rhodesy, 4-3. Well done.
Hey,
Unlucky,
good.
Bibb.
Unlucky, mate. Unlucky. Yeah, it was. That was a good quiz, mate. I've got to say, funny. Yeah,
It's the first time you've turned up, isn't it?
it is, mate.
I
I'm
know.
telling you. Hey, I came prepared for this one, Bibb. I knew it was going to be a tough one. So. Nice one. Hey, that was great. But that was merely the appetizer to the main course and why we've got you on here, my friend. Because,
Yes.
mate, when I've watched Talking Wolves and I've listened to you speak very passionately about Wolves, and that's why I love listening to you because of the passion. Don't necessarily agree with everything that you say, but I do appreciate where the passion is coming from. Now, let us know your thoughts on how you think the season's gone, where we need to improve, and how we are going to improve.
Firstly, thank you very much. It's not. I'll take that as a backhanded compliment. To be fair,
No, mate. It's
I'm joking, don't worry.
no, we ain't always got to agree, but
No,
it's all about being passionate about your club, isn't it?
It's all about opinions, and that's what we're here for.
Absolutely, mate.
No, I was about to say, most of those videos, I mean, I've watched them back and I've looked back the next day and thinking, oh no, what have I done? But no, to be fair, the way the season's gone, I think from the first couple of weeks, like, you could tell sort of the performances weren't there, and we was getting the results, and I wouldn't say we're playing necessarily different to the way that we're playing now. I think it's just more the case where, you know, it just seems though there's been a shift in the dynamic, and you could say that there's an element of the manager doing that, there's an element of the players doing that. It's a combination of the both. For me, the big thing has been the man management in those big bottle games. And for me, Nuno for me has not actually shown that, not necessarily he can move us forward. I think there's been signs where, you know, if you look at the last 2 seasons, like first season in the Premier League, the turning point was Chelsea at home. From there, we went on a great run of form.
Yeah. Last
minute equaliser against Crystal Palace, there was a big kick in and a big turn in form. This season, I just haven't really seen it, and I haven't really seen any performance. There's been good performances, don't get me wrong, but I haven't seen enough that, you know, we're even regarding with all the injuries that we've got, is there a sustainable way to move us forward? For me, that's where my question marks come from the management. And I feel as though that's when you question some of the players here as well, because I just think that we're due a massive rebuild. Yeah. And we've been shot in the foot for the last, you know, summers where, I mean, if you look at our window in 1920, like the only player who's still at the club is Neto and Podence. Other than that, all the other signings we've made are either on loan or we got rid of them because they weren't good enough. It just seems as though we've got a core which has been here for a long time. Nuno's playing the core. When the kids are getting opportunities, for me, the kids are doing really, really well. It's about, are they going to get those minutes later on down the line, which is for me the bit of a concern as well.
Okay.
But it's been disappointing this season, to say the least.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I completely agree with a lot of the sentiment there, and especially when you say about the core of the team not pulling their weight and us primarily making the kids do all the work and not giving them enough minutes. I think, you know, you could put that on Nuno's shoulders, really. He has got his favourites that he does like to play and stick with through thick or thin. I think Saiss comes into that category. For example, I believe that Cody is one of those as well. And when I say this, I'm talking about the defence, which, in my opinion, needs the most strengthening. Really, I think we can all agree that, you know, if we want to go forward and play a 4, you know, we're going to need, you know, not Ruben Diaz, because he's gone, and he, you know, we missed out on him. But was he really going to come to Wolves? Yeah, do you know what I mean? I'm like, that guy's different level. and he was going places anyway. But I think it's a fair assessment of definitely the Neves, Matinho, Podence, Traore, Cody, all these people that you would say are the spine of the team haven't really got to the level that we're used to this season. And I think that's a lot of it, in my opinion, is down to injuries to specific players that make the other players play better. And also losing Jota and Doherty, for me, is actually, I didn't think it would at the time, but it has really changed the way we play. And it has really
huge losses for me, they were. Huge losses.
Jota especially, you know, you talk about the Crystal Palace equaliser, like, he scored that. Like, he scored the last minute winner against Leicester for the 4-3. He scored a lot of important goals that, but for me, Jota was a case of Nuno, him not being a favourite of Nuno, and Jota wanting to probably leave, because if Liverpool come in for you, you're gonna go if you're not getting the minutes here, are you? So.
At the time, it made sense, which I think a lot of people, and I especially, like, even looking back at it now, we can obviously say that we will obviously miss Diego Jota. Yeah. At the time, it was all said that, you know, it all depends on the development of Podence and Neto, and they were going to be the 2 players that were going to move us forward. Yeah. Neto has, and Podence also, he's very hot and cold in. But the problem that we've got as well with him, and if you look at him towards like, especially the lockdown games and most of the games that we played in that season, Jota would only get around about 2 or 3 chances at Wolves. Yeah. He'll go to Liverpool. He's going to at least have 5 or 6 great opportunities, and he's going to put most of them away.
Yeah.
And I feel as though that's not down to necessarily being a bad decision to sell him, which at the time I thought was a good move. But it's just made it look worse. Just I think more down to how good like Liverpool are and how much he's thriving in an attacking team.
Yeah,
I think there's an element of that massively.
Yeah. I think that's fair comment.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think the recruitment has not been as good as it was at the beginning. I think Mendes has only got so many players in his little black book that we can get, on the cheap and relatively cheap. You see, we got Bolly, Neves, Rui Patricio, Matinho for like shillings and sixpence for for how good he is. Like, do you know what I mean? These players, like they shouldn't be playing for Wolves. Like then in the Championship, that's nonsense. That was not that. Like the other teams of the Championship must have been like, we can't play against this team. Like it's so alien to us.
I feel like when all that was going on, Mendes almost had a point to prove to sort of say, I'm going to put Wolves on the map almost.
Yeah.
And put you at a level. Now I think a lot of the frustrations that are coming from the fans at the moment around the manager are unfair, because I just think it's more of a case of circumstance this year. I mean, injuries, yes. And like you say, anybody can have injuries. Any team can have injuries. But don't forget, we went so long without having any injuries. Yeah. And it's almost like an alien thing to us. Like, well, we've got to replace somebody. We're so fortunate in that season.
Well, two seasons. We're very fortunate. 2 seasons.
We had little or no pre-season to get ready or recover from the previous or anything like that. We lost a couple of key players, which have been absolutely, so difficult to replace. And they can be replaced, but it's going to take time. And then obviously you throw the effect of the pandemic in there. And that's not just in a football sense. That's every player being a human being. Personal, everybody's been locked down in these bubbles and having to adapt and stuff. I mean, it does mess with your head, I suppose.
100%.
Players as well as everyone else. And I think it's unfair that a lot of the fans are sort of putting a lot of pressure on Nuno and saying, it's his fault for the dip in form. I personally think he's done a fantastic job this season just to get us where we are. It's not a bad season when you look at it now where we are with 3 games left. It's been frustrating at times and it's been difficult, but I personally think he's done a great job. He definitely needs a chance, at least one more, the summer and a pre-season to get it right. So I'm coming definitely from the camp that all the sort of Nuno out. Whether you actually sit in the Nuno out Bibb or whether you're just kind of cautious, I'm not sure. But
he's not cautious. Have you seen his Twitter handle?
I think that's.
He says Nuno out now.
Yeah. I think it's Bibb really, really wants Nuno out.
Yeah, that's the one.
So what are your main reasons for that, and who would you bring in, and what do you think is going to change?
Well, what are my main reasons for bringing him in? I think it's more down to, I think, as you quite rightly said, circumstances do need to be taken into account as well. I just think that, the element where there's been many points this season where we've shown signs that, this can improve, and we've shown signs that this can be done. But even in the games where, all of the players have been fit and all the players have been playing those minutes, it still, to me, doesn't look as if, there's a performance where you look at it and think, that's going to be the turning point, and that's going to move us into next season. I think looking at it before, I think it was before the Brighton win. I think we'd only had 8 wins in 2021, and for me, when you've got form like that, and there's more factors to it. Like we don't look like we're scoring enough. It seems as though we have to wait until they score, or we have to wait until they make a certain substitution before we change anything.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I think Nuno's done a tremendous job, and I feel as though another reason as to why a lot of fans could be disappointed is because of everyone can see how good these players are. I wouldn't go as far as to say like it's unrealistic expectations, But this is the season where you look at it and you think this was one of a massive opportunity for us to move into the camp where we could potentially move forward, and we could potentially, you know, go and see that, you know, this manager can do it. And it just doesn't seem to me that there isn't any way. And here's the thing: I respect the people that still want me to win, and I feel as though there's an element of that, and that's quite right. And so, and I just feel as though there's an element as well that there's just some things that need to change. With manager wise, see, the manager that I would have wanted him was Jesse Marsch, and he's just gone to RB Leipzig. Attacking football, pretty much does everything that, you know, a fan dreams of, really.
Yeah.
I think it's more a case really of just a manager who comes in, implements his style of play, and not just that, also gets the relevant investment, which I think to a degree Nuno has had. Last couple of transfer windows, he's had little to nothing, because our transfer policy is essentially rely on George Mendes, and we've got our owner doing the transfers. I mean, what other football club does it? I mean, I don't get that move at all, because Jeff's got to be in charge of everything. He'll probably be in charge next, to be honest. But no, basically, I
sense there's a bit of unrest from Wolves fans and the Mendes situation. I mean, obviously we've just discussed it, and he put sort of Wolves on the map, put us at a level, got these players in, but I think it's starting to turn slightly now that having that reliance on him getting his black book out is not the way to do things. And he's got a couple of connections and he can put a few names out and, you know, have a bit of pulling power, but he should not be making he should not be the be all and end all of our transfers, should he?
100%. I mean, you look at the transfers that came in, like, he got a lot of criticism at the time, and I feel as though now hindsight obviously is 2020, but Kevin Felwell actually did a very, very good job in the circumstances, considering it wasn't necessarily the fact that he got the players in. Yeah,
he did.
100%. It was like getting all the players in that we wanted. Like, think about it, in the championship season where, you know, obviously we got in all of these Mendes flashy signings. Let's not forget, we got in Ryan Bennett, who proved to be one of the key members in that defence. He's also, I'm trying to think who else he brought in. I mean, he was a big part as to why Saiss came as well. He was a big part as to why many of the other players actually joined the football club. And it was after he's left, it felt as though that was kind of like the ice between everything in terms of like transfer recruitment and policy.
Yeah.
And at the moment, I really don't know where to go. I mean, we're looking, but the thing is, how many clubs have you also seen rely on solely agents to get players? Obviously, they're going to try and look out for themselves first and try and make the most money, which is fair dues to in that sense. But at the same time, you need a recruitment and you need a strategy. All of our players that we signed in the last window is essentially Mendes players, and that's it. There was nothing else.
Yeah, it works. It works both ways, doesn't it? Because without Mendes, we don't get Moutinho, we don't get Neves, we don't get Bolly, we don't get Patricio. You know, I get where you're coming from, but he has given us some quality that we wouldn't necessarily have got otherwise.
And are they all Nuno's picks? You know, has he got sign off on them, or is he just giving them?
You're right there, Bibb, mate. You look like you're on the sea.
Carry on.
Like you're in a boat. It's a tricky one, this, isn't it? Because I understand where you're coming from regarding transfers. It's not been great recently. I think we've got to take into account where we were when Raul Jimenez got injured. This is my take on it. We were 7th in the league. We were doing very well. We were playing some great football. He had that horrific injury. And I think I think we take it for granted with Raul Jimenez how good he actually is. He's probably one of the best centre forwards we've ever had, and I don't think we'll appreciate him until he leaves. That was a huge blow for us, and I keep on going back to the league table and seeing us 3 points behind Aston Villa, who, in their own words, have had a great season. That for me, if that is our worst season, and Villa are saying, "Oh God, we're so happy. Dean Smith's doing a fantastic job," you know, that for me, I can live with that. I can live with this blip of a season if we can have a full pre-season with you know, some new blood. We need a new defender. We need a box-to-box midfielder, and we need probably do need another forward as well. But we need to keep the good players that we've got.
Yeah, well, don't get me wrong. If we have this season, you know, next year when there's no injuries and it happens again and again,
that's different.
Then obviously that's completely different. But I think you're right. I think this year just needs to be sort of wiped off really, and just be like, well, come on, we've been kicked while we're down, really, essentially. But we've recovered, and we've actually scrambled quite a good finish in the end. Yeah, regardless of what happens in the last 3 games,
mate. I think if we get to 50 points this season, I think that's an incredible achievement.
Yeah,
like bearing in mind where we were. What do you think, Bibb? So, are you all right there, kiddo?
Yeah, mate. Here's the thing. You'll probably laugh at this. So basically, normally what I do on the Talking Walls video is I just hold my phone and we go from there. I've decided this week we're gonna experiment a little bit. I've got glue tack on my phone, and it's just falling off. This is. I'm having.
Bless you. Well, it looks, mate. It looks fine. It looks fine. It just looks like you're throttling us both.
Agree. Okay, we agree.
Nuno out. Okay, Bibb. Okay, mate. So aggressive. But mate, like, you know what? Like, there's. I agree with a lot of what you said. I disagree with some of it, but that's why we have these channels. That's why we. It's all about opinion, isn't it? It's all about, you know, putting our opinion across and doing it, you know, reasonably and enjoying it, having a laugh with it. And
the banter.
It's banter, innit? It's banter. And it
seems like you've had a busy day, Mark, on Twitter.
I really have. I really have.
They're not really...
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone.
That was amazing. Bibb out.
Gone.
He's gone.
Got
See you later.
One down. But yeah, I think people are struggling with the bants, mate. It's
I know.
They're taking it far too seriously.
I know. He's back. He's back. He didn't like you. He didn't like you. Mate, Bibb, we didn't mean it, mate. We want you to come back. Come back, my man.
The thing is, I've just seen it and I was like, hang on.
And that's all right. This is amazing.
Oh my God.
Prime time. That's it,
mate.
Bibb, it looks great, mate. Just
you need
hold
some more blue tack, mate.
Just hold it. But we're actually coming up to the end anyway. Bibb, what are your expectations for the next 3 games? What team would you like to see Nuno put out?
More kids played, and I think that's going to be the element for probably the rest of the season. Now, I think it's now just going to be a case where see who's good enough for next season, see who's going to move us forward, and then we just go from there. Really. I think that's going to be the most important thing from now to the end of the season. And as you quite rightly said, if this carries on next season, then who knows what could happen in terms of the management. But as you've always, as it is with everything, circumstances matter in the context of, you know, a season in terms of everything. And I'll tell you, I think just the element really where I think the point you made about obviously Villa's good season. I mean, to be fair, I do agree with what you're saying in that regard as well. I think also at the same time as well, I think that kind of just shows how much people believe, not just in, you know, Nuno, but in the players as well, that this is a bad season. And I'm not going to lie, I'd say this is a bad season as well, not just given the circumstance, I think just given the players as well. But no, I just think that, you know, play the kids between now and the end of the season. I mean, I'd love to see Osawi playing centre mid.
Yeah, we've said that, haven't we? We have said that.
So good.
Yeah, he's quality, and hopefully
I know I'll give right to miss out now, though.
Yeah, I know. It's like who do you drop there? Like Vitinha, Morgan Gibbs White, Otasowa. You want them all to play, don't you? It's like just
a weird one. It's so weird because like you look at it and Gibbs White. I mean, I've given him stick this season, and I think the stick that he's had. Do you know what? It's quite right. It's quite rightly deserved the stick. But isn't it nice when you see Wolves prove you wrong or a player proves you wrong?
It's the best thing in the world.
The bottle. The thing is, he had so much bottle after that miss as well, where many other players would have just shied away and many players would have, you know, just caved in after that moment. We've seen it happen before. It can make or break a Wolves' career. Hopefully, that's going to be the kickstart that he wants.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you saw the passion when he scored. That was amazing to see.
Oh,
he wants it, and he's a local lad. So fingers crossed we can play the kids. But Bibb, it's been absolutely wonderful to speak to you, mate. And good luck with everything you do on Talking Wolves. It's brilliant. It's brilliant to chat to you. And you take it easy, buddy.
Thank you very much, Mark. It's a pleasure doing this, mate, and it's a pleasure, Craig, as well.
Nice one.
Good
All right.
to see you, bud.
You've been watching Wandering Wolf.